Okay, Shalom Akim, all praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua Ba'Shem Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. And salute once again to you sincere brothers out there of the hopeful elect. Okay? And as much as we get on the nation of Edom, which is the so-called white man, all right, I can't forget that the heathen nations are going to suffer hardcore slavery as well, you know, pursuant to the scriptures, man. All right? And it's rightfully so. It's rightfully so that they're all going to have to suffer. Now, when I say the heathen nations, I'm talking about the Arabs, the Chinese, the Japanese, okay, the Africans, which we are not. You so-called Negroes here in America are not Africans, okay? Also the Aborigines of Australia, the Hawaiians and Polynesian people, they're going to have to go into captivity, man, all right? The East Indians, you know, all of these nations are going to go into hardcore slavery, man, in the kingdom of heaven. All right? Because the Lord is not dealing with them and the Lord is against them as well. All right? This is Obadiah, the book of Obadiah, verse 15. It says, "For the day of the Lord is near upon all the heathen." So Yahweh Shah, he's not dealing with the heathens, man. Okay? Yahweh Shah, who you people call Jesus Christ in the church, he's not dealing with the other nations, man. See, in the Roman Catholic Church, they're all about uniting all the nations, gathering all of the nations together under one umbrella, under Satan, really. Okay, that's the philosophy that they teach. All right, that the Lord is coming back to bring peace to all nations. Nah, that's not the case, man. All right, the Lord is coming back to destroy the other nations and to enslave the other nations. It says, "For the day of the Lord is near upon all the heathen. As thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee. Thy reward shall return upon thine own head." Yeah, and what did the heathens do unto our people, man? They furthered the oppression of you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. All right, here it is, the so-called white man have you in slavery and living in ghetto conditions here in this society, and yet the heathens come over here and set up shop in your neighborhoods. You know, they feed you all this GMO food that they don't even eat themselves, man. You know, so these other nations, they're gonna have to suffer, man. They're gonna have to suffer slavery, man. All right, you know, you got the Chinese man setting up Chinese restaurants all through your neighborhood, feeding you that greasy ass fried chicken, in which they never change the oil. All right, giving you them pork rib tips, all these abominable dishes. Okay, and Jake just gets all kind of fucking disease, diabetes, and high cholesterol and high blood pressure from eating at these restaurants, man. You know, because like I mentioned in other videos, food is addictive, man. Food is like a drug, you know. It's very addictive, especially when you're being oppressed. You know, a lot of people eat food that no matter how abominable it is and how distasteful it is, a lot of our people, they eat it just to satisfy their soul, man. You know, because it's convenient. You don't have to slave over a stove. You don't have to go to the grocery store, pick out whatever foods you have to prepare and eat, all right? And then go home and slave over a stove and cook it. You know, clean it out and season it up and fire it up upon the stove, man. You know, and wait 2 hours for your meal to be done. When you can just go right to the damn gook shop and get you some rib tips and pork fried rice and fried chicken and all of that nasty, greasy bullshit, man. That's effing up the health of our people, man. All right? So all these heathens, they're going to have to suffer for what they've done to our people, man. Because the gooks, they don't eat that shit that they give our people, you know? That's why the so-called nigger woman, she's all fat and obese, man. You know? She's all fat and obese because she frequents the Arab chicken stores, the Chinese restaurants, okay? And all these other little bullshit greasy spoon shops in the hood, man. You got the Arabs that got them damn camel carts on the streets selling all that junk to our people, man. All right? So the judgment is gonna come upon you heathens, man. The judgment is certainly gonna come upon you heathens, man. All right? This is matter of fact, let me get Psalms 82 real quick to show you that this has been a conspiracy, man. It's been a conspiracy for a long time. Psalms 83. All right. This is Psalms the 83rd chapter, verse 1. It says, "Keep not thou silence, O Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushua. Hold not thy peace and be not still, O my power." All right. Yeah, because the Lord is speaking through his prophets, man. You know, the Lord is now speaking through his prophets. He's giving us the knowledge, starting with honorable and great men like Abba Bivens, all right, who is Elijah the prophet or John the Baptist in the reincarnation, okay, who was prophesied to come before that great and dreadful day of the Lord, man. Okay, the Lord put the spirit on Abba and other great men, right, like King Mashah. You had the elder scribe Yaiquab, high priest Ariah, to the apostles of Great Millstone, and to you brothers out there that's spreading this knowledge today, man, doing this work. All right. So the Lord, he's not keeping still anymore. He's not holding his tongue back anymore, because he got us out there on the highways and the byways prophesying the downfall of this wicked society, man. All right. It says, "For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones." And who is that talking about, man? That's talking about the so-called white man and the other nations, the heathen nations. All right. That's what it's talking about. They've conspired together, man. They're all in alliance with each other out there at the United Nations, man. You know, global politics, geopolitics, okay? They have these G20 summits, the G8 summit meetings, man, all right? Where you have these different governments, leaders from these different governments all over the world basically programming the future for humanity, man, okay? And particularly how to keep our people oppressed, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans oppressed. Reason being because you're not a part of those summit meetings, man. Okay, you don't have no say so in the United Nations. All right, so it's a conspiracy to keep Israel down, the Lord's chosen people. It says, "They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance." That's right, man. Okay? These other nations, they know who the nation of Israel is, man. These top scholars, right? These top scholars in these universities and such that do archaeological digs and travel all over the Fertile Crescent, which is the ancient land, you know, and they do all these digs and excavations. They know who the real children of Israel is, man. And because they've seen the images. All right, they've seen images, all of the icons that's left out there in Europe, okay? But yet, they continue to teach our people or have our people believe that they're blacks, Puerto Ricans, Dominicans, Mexicans, Indians, all right? And by putting these bywords upon our people and, you know, ignorantly have our people celebrating Black History Month, okay? And, you know, shit like that, all these parades, the West Indian Day Parade, Puerto Rican Day Parade, Latin History History Month. You know, you have what they call I forgot, they don't even call it Christopher Columbus Day, Indigenous People Day. All right? No, we're the children of Israel, man. No, but what prospective tribe that we come from. You know, whether you be a Judite, Benjaminite, Gadite, Reubenite, all right, Manassite, Ephraimite, you know, Simeonite, Issacharite. That's our true nationality, and they're not teaching our people that, in which they know who we are, man. Okay? So they cut us off from being a nation. God is divided. God is wanting to kill each other and hating each other, selling drugs to one another. Okay? All right? So there's a division that they've caused to keep our true heritage and nationality hidden from us, man. All right? And they've spent billions upon billions of dollars to hide this knowledge. All right? It reads on, verse 5, "For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee, the tabernacles of Edom," which Edom is the so-called white man. All right, you Caucasians. You make up the nation of Edom. All right? "And the Ishmaelites," which are the Arabs, you know, because you got a lot of them sheiks out there in the Arab world, man. Okay, in the United Arab Emirates, Saudi Arabia. Okay, which the Saudi Arabians, the crown prince of Saudi Arabia is believed to be a so-called Jew, a crypto Jew, okay? But nevertheless, you got them them Arabs in the Arab world that have a whole lot of money, man. You know, the top Muslims out there in that country that know who we are. Okay, they've conspired and consulted with the so-called white man. You know, they got a thing called normalization now, where you have all these different Arab states getting aligned with the welfare state of Israel, man. Okay, which Israel, the so-called Jews came over there into that region and took that land. Okay, and displaced all of them Arabs that occupied that land before them, the so-called Jews. All right. And it was war and bloodshed ever since. But now you got these Arab states aligning themselves with the so-called Jews, with Israel. It's called normalization. All right, you can look that up. But anyway, they've consulted together, man. It says of Moab and the Hagarenes. All right, Moab, which is the Chinese. Okay, the Hagarenes are Hamites. It says Gebal and Ammon and Amalek. All right, which Ammon is the Japanese. So you got the Chinese and the Japanese who are also in league with the so-called white man. You know, they all have a goal of a one world order. Okay, you know, they all following after the philosophy of the so-called white man. All right, because there wasn't skyscrapers and shit in Tokyo and Shanghai and Hong Kong and all of that until the so-called white man brought that shit over there, man, to China. Okay, so anything that the so-called white man does, these other nations, they follow after, man. All right, and you have the Trilateral Commission, which is a big secret think tank, all right, of global dominance that includes the Western civilizations like the United States and Great Britain, or the United Kingdom as they call it, and it got the Chinese and the Japanese on board to fulfill their agenda of a new world order. Okay, you know, so there's different secret society and fraternal organizations, man, that are in a global plot, Salakia, for world dominance, man. Okay, and all these other nations are a part of it. All right, so it says the Philistines with the inhabitants of Tyre. Ashur also is joined with them. They have hope in the children of Lot, Selah. All right, so that's it on that, you know. But all these other nations, they conspired together, man. So in turn, all of these heathen nations are going to go into captivity. They're going into slavery. All right, I'm gonna read Isaiah the 60th chapter real quick. All right, this is Isaiah chapter 60. I'll start at verse 10. All right. It says, and the sons of strangers shall build up thy walls, and their kings shall minister unto thee. For in my wrath I smote thee, but in my favor have I had mercy on thee. So the Lord is going to put the sons of strangers, which is these other nations, these heathens, okay, to build up our wall or our society, man, or our kingdom. Rather, the walls of Jerusalem is going to be built by the heathen nations, man. All the nations that conspired against us, pursuing the Psalms, the 83rd chapter, all right? They're going to be the ones that's going to build up our kingdom, man, which is the kingdom of heaven, which the kingdom of heaven is right around the corner. It's coming with Yahweh Shai, man, and the holy angels, okay? It says, therefore thy gates shall be open continually. They shall not be shut day nor night, that men may bring unto thee the forces of the Gentiles, and that their kings may be brought. That's right. So our gates are going to be continually open, man. We're going to have guys working on the day shift, guys working on the night shift, bringing in all of the best of their land, okay? All of the best of their land paying tribute unto us, man. You know, world dominance is going to come by the hand of Israel through Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, man, okay? So that's the kingdom of heaven, brothers. All right? Us ruling over the other nations, man. The Lord ain't coming back to gather all nations to give them peace. Okay? The other nations, they're gonna go into slavery, man. They're gonna build up our walls, and our gates are gonna be open continually for them to bring in all their tributes, man, unto our kingdom. All right? It says, for the nation and kingdom that will not serve thee shall perish. Yea, those nations shall be utterly wasted. Okay, so if you, any nation of people that want to rebel, all right, against the order, which is what? To serve Israel, all right, they're going to be put to death and destroyed immediately, man, on the spot. Okay, all right. So the kingdom is for the nation of Israel, in which you other nations are going to suffer hell, which is hardcore slavery, man. All right, and I'm going to end it on that note and say shalom. I'll be rocking to you brothers out there to the next video. Shalom.